Maybe
And
maybe the newer versions of Dragon Ball make him like do like calculus while he's training or something.
I don't know. I dropped out in the Boo saga.
Yeah.
It was so
It's
boring.
been a while.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get going. Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Smudcast number 588. Goku is actually pretty smart. That's capital SMART, exclamation question mark. Discussion. That's the title. Odd way to title your video, but okay. I guess no one was expecting that. This was
Maybe
from...
he's fairly discussing things with himself.
Well, he must be a smart guy if he calls himself Salad Saiyan. I guess he's got to eat his vitamins and minerals. Nice healthy salad before every meal. So I'm guessing there's some analysis. Maybe he's counting calories and how much pressure is being exerted when he's doing those push-ups under extended gravity or whatever he's doing. So.
Yeah. Right away, I want to mention that this is not a good color scheme for Cell.
Yeah, he's green, I thought, not purple.
Yeah, no. I mean, technically the purple is fine, but maybe you should have chosen something else for the pants.
Oh.
That's an oddly shaped shadow.
Yeah. Well, you never know. He could have one of those augmented body parts that we don't understand because it's alien and arachnid. What is he? He's
a Cell.
Yeah. All right. Anyway,
he's Kirby. He's basically Kirby.
This came out this year in February, has 75,000 views, and this dude has 284,000 subs. So obviously he knows his topic very, very well. And if he says Goku is smart, I'll give him the credit on principle, meaning as an idea. But as soon as he starts making wild claims and not connecting the dots, I'll be like, ooh, not good. So 12.5-minute video, shouldn't take too long. Gigaman is coming in. He's our Dragon Ball expert, I guess. He knows a lot about stuff in the anime world, especially Dragon Ball. So hopefully he'll fill in some blanks for us. I don't know Dragon Ball very well, so I do apologize for my lack of knowledge on the topic.
Yeah, I said before, it's been a long time that I watched Dragon Ball, and I dropped out during the Boo saga because it was utterly boring.
Yeah.
There were a few good jokes, but it was kind of it. And then you had 10 minutes of recap of the last boring episode, 10 minutes content, and 10 minutes preview to the next boring episode every day.
Yeah, there's a lot.
That's how you lose. That's how you lose audience.
There's a lot of not long filler episodes, but there's intermittent. Like there's a filler episode here, and then there's another one down like every other episode. It's like with season 3 or 4. It's just like you look at the list of fillers. It's just there's quite a lot.
Who felt like a filler saga?
The filler saga. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an entire half season of Naruto right there. Yeah. So
what? No. Naruto are about 26 episodes, and then 200 filler episodes. I'm not kidding. I watched them all. There are maybe 3 good filler episodes that are actually decent watching. They're okay. They have interesting plots and ideas, and I forgot them all. I think the falling star asteroid bullshit magic village was okay, and the other 2 I forgot. And the other 197 filler episodes are utter trash and should be burned.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully we'll learn that Goku is a smart boy somehow in some capacity.
He knows how to tie his shoes, does he?
Hopefully he's not like, well, he's smart because he's really good at fighting. It's like, that's not... It's not really intelligence.
I'm looking forward to hearing his metric.
Yeah, that's true. And we want to know what he's talking about. Anyway, let's get going.
After all this time being a fan of the series, I've come to realize everyone's kind of mean to Goku. I can't tell you how common it is for people to call him stupid. Sometimes deservingly so, but mostly undeservingly. And in my eyes, I completely disagree. He's not stupid. Actually, the opposite. I think he's actually kind of a genius. And I know some people are probably thinking that's outlandish. Like, it's...
Okay, so genius can mean many things. In Goku's case, I would say he's a genius at fighting. He tries and very hard. He keeps going until he collapses or dies. Yeah. So that's true.
His character is modeled after Son Wukong from Journey to the West.
Sure, yeah.
The Monkey King.
Exactly.
Who is not a smart character himself.
Yeah, he's pure guile. He's just pure. I'm gonna push, go. I'm awesome. Let me do my thing. Whereas Goku's a bit more humble. He's a bit more chilled out at times. So,
Goku can actually grow up and mature.
Yeah, he has a family. He realizes what's important. Although there are times where he's like, "I'm gonna let my son fight the last battle," and you're like, "Wait, why would you do that? That's not a good idea. He's a kid. Don't do that. Don't let him fight Cell. That's not a good idea." So.
Why Kiki decapitated a Tyrannosaurus Rex for dinner when she was a kid?
Yeah, well.
It was the first scene you see her. Like, what the fuck are these people?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to grasp, but it's a fun show. It's cute. If you like fighting, it's cute. It's like, oh, they're punching each other in the sky. It's cool.
Yeah.
One thing to say that he's not stupid, but it's another to say he's a genius. But don't worry, I'm not just going to say that and not back it up. I have reasons.
Okay, so
all claim.
Not stupid does not mean okay. The opposite of stupid is not genius.
This is correct. This is correct. It's not one extreme versus the other. It's good. It's good that he mentions that for the stupid parts of the audience.
Plus, you can't say he's a genius at fighting on a whole because he's not perfect. He's not like doing everything perfectly awesome every time. He fails a lot. So when we talk about genius, I always refer to it as being constantly trying, constantly never giving up, and looking at the problem from a different angle.
Genius is hyper creative, is what we associate with that, or is always ahead of everyone.
Sure.
In regards to strategy, planning, etc. That's what we commonly associate with.
That's why we say Goku is technically a genius at fighting, because he's really good at it, and he always tries over and over again when he fails. So even if he falls down, or even when he dies, he comes back. So that is one thing he's got going for him. It's kind of like Batman. Batman never gives up, even when he fails.
Yeah, but Batman's actually smart.
That is a good point. Gigaman Prime, why are you giving me money? Hey, for the record, Cell is just as much of an android as 17 through 20. Also, we get it. Everyone dropped off in the Blue Saga, the Boo Saga. Can we leave it alone already? Okay.
Not if I have to retell my history with Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Because I've not watched anything past that.
There's a good reason.
I don't know what happened.
We don't care either.
Probably people beat each other up with cool animations.
Yeah, more aliens, villains come back from the dead, family members of the villains that died. All the basic crap you expect.
People with weird hair colors.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like I hated that Trunks had this light pink hair. That looks stupid, especially with that haircut. But it makes sense, being the son of Bulma. She probably gave him that haircut.
Akira Toriyama and those freaking hairlines. Oh my god. Anyway.
Reasons to believe that. Okay, this video isn't particularly anything new. A while back, I did make a similar video to this, although I feel now it's very outdated, and it was made by me when I was way less experienced and knowledgeable about the series. Not to say it's necessarily wrong, I still agree with most of that video, but I feel like it could be formatted better.
Okay, wait,
given all the stuff
stop.
That we have now.
Stop. He made a video telling us is Goku actually stupid, and he agrees with most of it. So now he's going to tell us Goku's not stupid?
Well, it was worth staying up so late.
What is happening? That's like saying this game from BioWare is amazing. Wait, no, I'm an idiot. It's horrible. Oh, wait, no, give me another year. I'll change my mind.
Goku is such a genius that he can be stupid and smart at the same time.
No.
He's in superposition.
He's a Schrödinger fighter. He's a super Schrödinger.
Schrödinger's genius?
Schrödinger's monkey man.
As long as you don't check, he's smart.
Just never look at him directly with a flashlight, and he'll be fine. Oh.
Now, I feel like this video will have much better examples and will be much more focused than the last one. So today is kind of an opinionated piece, but something grounded in truth. I'm here to discuss why Goku's not actually stupid, and on top of that, why you could probably consider him one of the smartest people in the series. Before we talk about how smart he actually is, let's start by talking about how he's not dumb.
Smarter than Piccolo?
Can you just
Smarter than God?
Can you just define
Than the guy on I forgot the cat guy on the tower?
the cat guy? Oh, the god, the yeah.
No, the guy who lives beneath God, who gives out all the senzu beans.
Oh, that guy with the sword.
No, he had a cane.
Oh,
The cat.
yeah, it's a
think it was a
cat.
cat.
And what's the dude with the sword hangs out with the cat? Yeah,
Dude with the sword?
yeah. It's the fat guy, the fat human who hands out the beans.
The fat human with the sword?
Yeah, what the hell's his name?
Who's the fat human with the sword?
The sword. You don't remember his name?
Why would a fat guy with a sword be halfway up to the Tower of God?
Yairobe, is that his name? End of Dragon Ball anime. He's a fat, lazy mountain man who swears a lot. The first thing he does when he meets Goku is accuse him of stealing his breakfast.
Have I forgotten that guy?
You know, yeah, he's got a sword. He's got a big pouch of senzu beans. Yeah.
I don't remember anyone with a sword.
All right, never mind.
Was that in DBZ or in original Dragon Ball?
The end of the Dragon Ball, and then in Dragon Ball Z. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't really play a role in this, like the Saiyan saga or stuff like that. But he cuts off Vegeta's tail.
Oh.
He lives in Korin Tower, you know, making sensu
That's
beans
why-
with the cat.
That's why he has a sword.
Yeah. Korin's the cat, though. Anyway, never mind.
There are two people in the tower?
Yeah. He has that crazy car or whatever. It doesn't matter. Anyway, let's keep going.
What?
lack of a better word. Goku does have a lot of goofy moments, I guess. That's the best way to put it. It doesn't make him look that bright, and I can't disagree. There are certain things that make him not look as smart as he is. Oh, and by the way, we're going to be mostly talking about Dragon Ball Super here. I could spend a lot of time talking about Z,
Okay,
Dragon Ball, and
I
even
haven't
GT,
seen that. I
but
don't
most
know
of the
anything
discussion
about
comes from Super, and I want to focus on stuff that's current because that's reflective of how Goku is right now in the present. Now, I think there are some points in Super where we could deservingly call Goku stupid.
All
Why
right.
is it not possible?
Well, it's fair to say that
Super where we could
some people are have stupid moments. I have plenty of stupid moments, and I have plenty of smart moments. So that's fair. You could say that about people. But in general, no, I wouldn't say Goku's a smart boy.
Isn't Super the one that is ambivalent among fans?
They kind of don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, if they did things different in Super, how am I supposed to know anything about that? Why do we have to talk about the weird show?
Well, maybe that's because they don't like it because he is acting smart and people don't watch it. So, he is actually smart. You just don't watch the show where he's smart. You're like, oh, maybe. Anyway.
You know that Rey Skywalker is actually a great character. You just need to watch the movie.
And not pay attention.
Yeah.
First, hit your head with a hammer, then recover from your surgery after a year. Go through. Was it? Learn to walk again, and then look at. Oh wow, Rey's smarter than me. She could walk. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, we'll just tell you after you lost your memories that you really liked the movie and you really found that character to be really smart. Sadly, all copies of the movie have been completely erased and burned from the face of the earth. So we cannot check whether you actually do hold those opinions. But we're totally sure you do.
Yeah.
You told us
It's real
before
thing.
your memory loss.
Totally happened. All right.
where we could deservingly call Goku stupid. Two of which come to mind in the Goku Black arc. But even so, I wouldn't call these stupid, more so him being forgetful for the sake of plot. Which is kind of annoying, but hey, they have to introduce some sort of peril somehow. Not that I like it one bit, but still. It's stupid.
Being forgetful is not a sign of genius.
Yeah, if you're
It's rather the opposite.
Canonically doing something for the plot and you're shown to be dumb, that's pretty dumb. That's like, I want to go jump off the end of the world. It's like, that's not Goku. Stop that. What are you doing?
Also, deliberate forgetfulness for plot reasons. Like plot armor, it's plot amnesia. Is really bad writing.
Well, that's part of it. Yeah, there's so many elements to say. Is it his plot? Is he following along with the plot? Is it the main story? Is it his whole plan to do whatever?
I'm just going off by what he's saying. And he says Goku has plot amnesia so that the plot can happen. And that is bad writing.
Yeah.
That's hack writing.
Forgot about...
Toriyama wasn't involved with Super, was he?
He must have been. I don't know how much, though.
There were weird things in the recent Dragon Ball stuff, as far as I was told and didn't care much about.
Yeah, this is not like Daenerys forgot about the Iron Fleet having these super ballistas that can kill dragons or anything. It's like, okay. How bad is it? I don't know. Anyway, here's Kyogre, whose name I still can't pronounce. GT is the best Dragon Ball series. All right. This message has been brought to you by the Super Saiyan 4 Supremacist Foundation. Oh, my God. That's a thing. Thank you, sir. Good to know that. Okay. I'll go watch it eventually. I hope. After I do all my million other things to do stuff with gaming, I'll watch some anime. Anyway.
Stupidity meant to make the plot go along. One of them being Goku forgetting the senzu beans, and one of them being Goku.
Yeah, but that's an ongoing thing. That's the senzu beans is an ongoing thing with everyone because it's your magical get out of jail recovery potion that I'm about to die. Boom! I'm full health. Right? It's like imagine being in a fight like a boxing match. In every round, you take a senzu bean at the end of the round. It's like, I'm back to full health. I'm back to full stamina.
It's one of those magic items that were fine to introduce in the original series, but then later on, it's too powerful a gimmick.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Because it's your. There are no small health potions, no medium health potions. There's only the full health potion.
I'm trying to remember the name of that. The power in JoJo that they totally forgot about and focused just on stands. Like they introduced in the first season. It's like, everyone has this magical power you have to tap into as a martial artist, and you can control things with your mind, and da-da-da. And then, no, now you have stands. Everyone stands. And those are the coolest things. Everyone talks about stands now. It forgets about the powerful version of prana or mana or chi or whatever it is in the JoJo world. So it's like senzu beans.
It's a similarly hyper powerful gimmick as the Iris in Stargate SG-1. The moment they had that, most outside world threats were irrelevant.
Oh God, that was hilarious.
But it took several seasons until that thing could be overcome by one of the supervillains.
Well, yeah, but that was I don't know if you remember watching Atlantis. It's the one where Atlantis gets taken over by the Jedi.
I watched all of Stargate.
Okay.
I don't like Atlantis.
You don't like Atlantis? This is a really good episode.
I don't like Atlantis. There are a few good episodes, but overall it's a weak show, and it messes with Stargate lore.
Well, this is the one,
and it only has 2.5 characters that are worthwhile, and Jason Momoa playing Jason Momoa.
This is the one where General Shepard, I think, was he a general at the time? He uses the Iris. Is it general or is he a? I don't know.
He's not a general.
What is he?
He's just some stupid pilot with no character.
Oh, he's like the highest ranked guy there. Anyway.
Yeah, but his character is, I'm the quiet guy
soldier guy.
Who soldiers the problem, and he has absolutely no character. He's the most boring thing to watch in the fucking show.
Yeah, but he uses the Iris, and he takes out like 30 guys because he'll just slam into it.
Yeah.
It's great. It's like, I can't close the Iris. Tell him to go. Tell him to stop sending troops. And they just annihilate the entire Jedi force because he kept the Iris closed. It was awesome. But that episode...
That was well used. But the Iris is a super strong gimmick, effectively.
Yeah,
like the senzu beans.
He's like a Rambo in that show, or in that episode. It was really cool.
that's supposed to be his character, but they didn't write it out well, and I think he didn't really know how to act that out much, aside from having no facial expressions.
And that really cool hair, I always loved his genetically predisposed hair that has always been that way. I don't know if you ever heard.
I didn't notice that.
The little top of his head, the hair that just sticks up out of all the other hairs on his head, just this little patch of hair.
I thought that's like just a bad haircut.
No, that he can't do anything about that as an actor. He has to either cut it all off or put a hat on or something.
Huh.
It's kind of funny. He told stories where he had to he had another part where they put all this gel in his hair and mousse to make it stick down, and it worked for about half an hour. And
you mean for the actual actor, not the role?
The actual hair on the man's head, yeah.
He has one of a swirl.
I don't know what it's called.
The swirl makes the hair go in a weird direction. It's like basically Goku's hair, just not as extreme.
Think of it like Goku's hair, yeah. Think of it that way.
And usually children have that a lot when they have short hair. When you let it grow out, it kind of falls down. But with short hair, it really sticks out. And
it's funny. It's funny though. Every time you see him in any other role, he has the same problem with his hair. It's great. I love it.
I have no idea what else he played, but it's kind of. I think he could have done more in the show, but that's just the weakness of the writing of it.
The show was fun. It did have some flaws, but I enjoyed it. Out of
I should have focused more on McKay and Zelenka and
those were great.
Zelenka and the Irish doctor. And I was like, so those are the 2.5 characters of the show. Because Zelenka is only half a character because he's sadly just so much on the side, he barely has screen time. But his interactions with McKay are amazing. They should have focused so much on the nerds. That would have been so great. Totally off topic. Hello, Ginga.
It was a show for everyone. Hey, Ginga, how's it going, buddy?
What did I just walk into?
Oh, we were just talking about Stargate Atlantis, but now you're here. We'll get back on topic. So, how are you doing?
Robert Picardo couldn't save it.
Well, that's another issue. Anyway, back to Super Saiyans and whatever.
McKay can burn in hell, by the way.
Okay.
He's the best character in the fucking show.
That is really fucking sad, considering how he is in SG-1. But anyway.
Okay. Let's keep going.
See what I'm talking? So you understand what I'm saying.
Let's keep going.
Anyway, Dragon Ball.
Fuwa by forgetting the stuff that they need for it. Granted, the manga does at least make this better by making it not really Goku's fault. It's more so he just grabbed the wrong things.
Okay, first off, Gingaman, you have to explain to us, since we haven't watched Dragon Ball Super. What is Dragon Ball Super? How is it good? How is it bad?
That's complicated.
Because he is ignoring, for his argument, he's ignoring Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Well, he's only relying on Dragon Ball Super, and we haven't watched Super.
Mistake number 1.
What, to have watched it or to not watch, or to base your argument on Super?
For him to base it just on Super.
Okay. People are saying GT is the one you should watch, where all the cool stuff happens, and
not anymore.
Okay. I don't know.
Unless I mean, the manga is going in such a direction where at this point they might as well just put GT in specifically in an alternate universe because it's not going to fit anymore.
It ran off the manga story.
Yeah, it's right now. Mel, right now, thanks to the superhero movie, I think we're at the point where the end of Z should be, and I'm just like, with all the god level shit, how are you gonna fit GT in there like 5 years later? You can't.
The Flash thing. You need the Flash. You do the Flashpoint thing.
No.
Dragon Ball Super was already the flashpoint of Dragon Ball.
Oh boy. Alternate dimension Goku. I want to see that.
Yeah.
You want to?
Is Toriyama still doing the manga?
So you want another flashpoint? What, you want the new 52 of Dragon Ball? No, thank you.
I don't want anything. Is Toriyama still making the manga?
He's still involved, yes.
Well,
okay.
Lightly,
yeah,
very lightly. It's mainly Toyotaro.
Right. So he is around. He's in the office sometimes. I don't know where.
Well, sometimes he's still consistently involved. It's just like on a basic level.
Yeah.
with the manga, Toyotaro's the one in charge. So
the Dragon Ball has turned into the Marvel DC crap of Japan.
well, no, it's still
With
good.
several parallel universe storylines that
Well,
repeat each other.
I mean, well, the manga went in a more drastic direction because they stopped the anime at the tournament, and the manga just kept going.
Okay. All right. Well, let's hear his argument. He's talking about how
Talking about the Mafuba,
where he forgot, or he and a bunch of people
they
forgot.
forgot the seal.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
But still,
Thinking
both
about
of these were
sensor
done kind of
beams
for plot
is
purposes,
smart.
so yeah, it's stupid, but that arc was kind of a narrative mess in many senses anyways,
Yes, it
and I
was.
feel like it's a symptom from that, causing them to have to use Goku as a crutch to actually help make some sort of drama here. I mean, that deserves a video on its own talking about why that's a narrative mess, but that's not the point for this video. So why'd I bring those two things up? Doesn't that go exactly against what I'm saying? Well, I have a reason to bring them up that still supports my point. Unless you also want to count Goku letting his guard down in Resurrection F, which I don't really count as stupidity, but again, besides the point.
Wait, the
These are really some
counter-argument
of the
supports
only
your
important
point?
moments where there's something that Goku does that's stupid and actually affects the plot. Outside of that,
No. It's just any general dumb thing or any general smart thing. Give us an example and show us why. Don't say, well, it doesn't affect the plot, therefore he's not a blithering idiot. It's like, what? No.
You can't just ignore it because you don't like the writing in that moment. Like,
Yeah,
this would be an argument. This example would be an argument against my point. So we're gonna ignore it.
Yeah, this is like if the plot is I have to go buy some bread for Bulma because she asked me to, and he decides to go swimming instead. Like, that'd be pretty stupid. So, what are you doing?
Nothing ever gets that bad.
Yeah, I know, but
Goku
that's
is
what I
not
mean.
Sushio.
Because it's plot related, therefore it's stupid. But if it's not plot related, then it's okay. You're like,
I mean, I don't know if he's mentioned it already or if it comes up later in the video. It's like a lot of people think that Goku causing the Tournament of Power was stupid, but no, the universes were going to get destroyed anyway, and the tournament saved everyone. So, suck it.
If you want to read a manga where the protagonist maybe pretends to be stupid, maybe read My Name is Zushio. It's just 2 volumes. Sadly, the mangaka ran out of
And also
drive for it. Sadly.
Also the example earlier of Goku dropping his guard in the Resurrection F fight, I'm just like, that was just Frieza taking advantage of his Saiyan instincts. That's why he dropped his guard. You sure Frieza didn't learn anything from their first fight on Namek? Yeah, sure.
well, there's an anime that just came out on the fall season called The Eminence of Shadow, and I read the manga, or it's ongoing manga. And the guy is completely making stuff up to be this uber powerful behind the scenes kind of character in an isekai world. And that's the whole joke. Like he's doing whatever he wants without a plan, and everything just strangely falls into place. Like it's kind of like you're watching a Bill Murray movie where he's a spy, but he's not an actual spy, but he's acting like he's a spy, and everyone thinks he's a spy, and everything just works out in his way. That's the kind of foolish intelligence, I guess, of a story. So that's the narrative of that manga. This one, Goku is definitely not a smart boy. He's just not. Doesn't come across as that. Bulma is the daughter of an inventor. She's got some math skills behind her, some engineering skills. It depends on what your definition of smart is, and he hasn't done so, because everyone can agree he's amazing at fighting. And
something that everyone can agree that Goku did is a stupid thing. Giving a sense of being to Cell. Anyone?
Oh yeah, that was
stupid. But then again, it was balanced out by Vegeta letting Cell get to that form in the first place.
That was another form of stupidity on Vegeta's half. Yeah.
On both of them. So yeah, Goku's not even the only one.
That was a Steven Universe moment.
Yeah.
Stupidity by virtue of their Saiyan instincts. Especially with Vegeta because of his ego.
Yeah, that would make sense for Vegeta for sure.
That's
more like a wisdom.
And to keep going with Dragon Ball Z, at first when they first fought in the Saiyan saga, yeah, initially it was a dumb move to let Vegeta go instead of killing him. But that ultimately was to their benefit. Because without his help, they would have easily been wiped out by Frieza. especially when he got to his final form.
Okay.
Most of Goku's stupidity is just done for jokes. This is my main reason to defend him here. He has goofy moments, and personally I don't find the jokes funny, and I know no one else does either, but that's what they are. They're jokes. A lot of them are meant for comedic purposes. It might portray Goku in a bad light, but in the grander scheme of things, they're not really meant to be important points of the...
What he's showing there in the background isn't actually a
Logic.
stupid thing. It's like, is he implying that scene he's showing in the background is something stupid Goku did? Because it's not. This is after the Universe 6 arc where he used Blue Kaioken for the first time and it messed up his instant transmission. That's not stupid. That's just side effects. Okay.
story. That effect, and they don't affect the plot at all. It just makes Goku look pretty aloof in the moment and not much else. And he might be...
Yeah, but that is also characterization, which means he's stupid. The stupid situations happen because he's stupid. You're trying to play this off as he's so super intelligent that he plays these stupid situations for laughs, like a fourth wall break or for the other characters.
Yeah, you could
think he's stupid or something. Like, what the hell?
You could apply this to
he's not even stupid. He's just uneducated.
Yeah, you could apply this to the clumsy character and say, well, this is a comedic scene where you need someone to be the guy who makes fun of people or make fun of. Oh, he's clumsy. And there he's it's like he's still a clumsy character. It doesn't matter why or how or when. That's part of their character. Therefore, they're clumsy. It's not like, well, it wasn't their fault they tripped and fell over that rock they didn't see. It's like, well, it is their fault. Yeah, it is. If
you say uneducated, is that because he's simply not interested in anything but fighting?
At this point of the story, yes, and also because he was just raised as a martial artist by Old Man Gohan. He never got any proper education.
Yeah, can he read when he's an adult?
Actually, yes. When he was training with Roshi, he did teach Goku and Krillin like basic math and reading.
Ah.
He got something of an education, but at a very basic level. After that, it was martial arts training.
Okay.
See, he hasn't defined his term. We don't, and this is a very, not subjective, but it's a very broad term where we have a scale of intelligence with genre and categories that are applicable to, let's say, being a genius could mean being a genius at solving puzzles, the way an autist can be really good at one specific thing, but can't work with other people or whatever. So there's lots of ways of defining intelligence. And this is a very big topic in psychology where you have to know exactly the words you're using to describe something properly. So I'm assuming he means general intelligence, like math and science and of the world, knowledge about common sense.
In that case, it makes sense in relation to Goku.
Right.
Because he doesn't know a lot of that crap.
Common sense, common knowledge. There's even that's very different. So he hasn't defined a word, so we're a little bit lost.
What
especially if he means a general genius, then Goku would be an autodidact. I don't know the English word for that. He could teach himself everything he's interacting with.
There's people who are
of high level science and start engineering his own capsule bullshit.
Yeah,
that's not his type of genius. So
right,
what
exactly.
is he talking about?
Yeah, there are people who have general knowledge of everything, so it's common knowledge, and they just have trivial knowledge of everything. So it's kind of weird that some guy who's really good at fighting would have knowledge of everything. Because why would he need to know, the temperature of the sun or all these other random factoids? It wouldn't make any difference to him. So yes, in that regard, he's not very bright. But is that intelligence? No, that's just common.
That would be, and that would indicate a high level memory, which is an indicator for a high IQ.
Right.
But that's not what he's talking about.
Exactly. I was going to bring up Rain Man, the guy who can memorize.
That's a savant. That's a completely different thing.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah. That has nothing to do with general intelligence.
Yeah.
The savant is more comparable to a chess computer.
Yeah.
It can this one absolutely outstanding, above human capabilities thing, but it has computer pretty incapable of tying shoes.
Well, that's where I was.
Shoelaces.
That's why I was hoping he was going with Goku as a fighter, because he's so good at fighting, and that's not just working out and training. That's all kinds of disciplines and tactics and strategy. It's not, it's not just brute force. So that's where I wanted him to go, because that's the obvious answer.
Yeah, the closest thing would be a fighting savant,
Right.
which is a very fantastical idea, but there you go.
Like a Batman or whatever.
Yeah.
It's
Now,
not Batman.
Oh yeah, Batman is a fighting savant, believe it or not. He has a natural aptitude to fighting.
I would say that in terms of fighting knowledge and skill, Goku does surpass Batman.
Oh god, yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's not difficult.
In the
sense of if we talk about people like Goku.
Well, we're talking about Goku. It is a massive gap between him and Batman. But before we go back to the video, I want to say a few things. Right now, what good timing that we're talking about Goku on this Weeb Day, because right now it's October 25th in Japan. It's the birthday of Goku's original voice actress, Masako Nozawa.
Oh, happy birthday then.
What a coincidence. And also, I do want to address two specific comments from the chat. The first one from Kyogre's Hideout said there was at least some logic behind Goku giving Cell a Senzu Bean. Yeah, you could argue that it can be argued that was part of Goku's plan so that he could get Cell ready to get his ass kicked by Gohan. Which is exactly what happened anyway. And the other one is from RJ Godzilla. Vegeta believed he could kill Cell, and he was right. He was powerful enough to kill Cell. His aim was just off a little. If he just aimed a little bit more to the right, and he would have done it. But that doesn't mean it wasn't a dumb move for Vegeta to let him become perfect. It was still a dumb move on his part. And then he immediately goes to Goku to complain that Goku gave Cell the Senzu Bean, even though arguably Vegeta was the one that fucked up the worst between the two.
Yeah, Goku did that because he has this immense level of trust. Not because he thought, hey, giving the super villain thing that we had real trouble with, the instant heal potion, the Phoenix Down, might be a bad idea. No, he just has perfect trust in Gohan.
Yeah.
Well, that was part of his strategy to let Gohan, I guess, waken up a bit more than when they were training, so that he would.
Because
it's called tough love.
Yeah, because but it was just the fact that during their training in the time chamber, Goku had already seen that Gohan was just about to reach the next level of Super Saiyan. Remember that one shot in the anime where I think it's in the manga too, where they show that one shot of Gohan with the tighter hair. And that was the first hint that, Gohan's the one that's going to win this. And it worked. It worked. Because Goku just has that... we take for granted that it was kind of dumb to give him the Senzu Bean in the first place, but ultimately that was just part of Goku's strategy. He knew what we take it for granted, but Goku knew what he was doing.
Because for Goku, it wasn't about Cell. For Goku, it was about Gohan.
Yes. That was the whole plan in the first place. And like I said, the last time we talked about Dragon Ball, or one of the last times, the Warp Kamehameha was just a temporary measure because Gohan was the ace in the hole from the beginning. Plain and simple.
Okay.
With that said, we can continue.
All right.
Anyway, it's
thinking,
still dumb.
well, I'm essentially calling him stupid, right? I just flat out said he does have stupid moments. And even if these stupid moments don't affect the plot at all, they're still stupid moments.
Thank you.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think it's fair to consider these
Fuck you, that clip
Goku
right
as
there
a
was
character,
funny.
since most of these dumb jokes don't actually have a lasting effect at all. Sure, Goku might not be street smart or book smart. He isn't the brightest person, but there's a reason I'm bringing up these things and ignoring them. I feel like these accusations of his stupidity are pretty overblown, but there's a very good reason why I think it's not that important as you think. And to discuss that,
a fighting genius at best. From the beginning, he was always a martial arts prodigy.
Yes.
And you can argue now after Dragon Ball Z that was partially because he was literally bred to fight in the first place.
Yes, but he wants to make the argument that Goku is actually smart. That's the title of the video. And now he said that Goku actually isn't bright, which is a synonym for smart. Congratulations.
He hasn't specified the martial arts prowess.
He hasn't specified anything yet.
Yeah, well,
Exactly. That's my point. He hasn't He hasn't specified anything.
he's playing semantics with himself. This is what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we're a quarter in. He hasn't specified anything yet.
Yeah.
Hopefully he does, because right now he argues against his own claim.
Okay, just watching the show, you very clearly see that his genius is specifically in the martial arts that he learns over the years. Anywhere else, it's debatable.
Right.
Yeah, but that is not smarts. And Goku doesn't
We're gonna have to
usually
get
win
into
his
why
fights
Goku's
because
actually
of
pretty
smarts.
smart. I mean, it's pretty clear by now. This series is a shonen focused mostly on battles. So what better way to judge a character in a series than how they perform in battle? And I'm not talking power scaling here. Goku is strong, but a lot of his victories, big or small, come from how smart he is in battle.
Okay, wait.
No,
Um,
he just keeps punching harder and faster.
when you talk about
He is right on this.
when you talk about intelligence in battle, we're talking about strategy and tactics. Strategy is your position in relation to the other force. So where you stand, your orientation, what body position you are. If you're talking about one-on-one, same thing with armies. What formation are you using against them? Tactics is a whole other issue. Tactics is, what do you do when someone punches you? What do you do to counterattack? How do you parry? How do you dodge? What's the technique you use? How hard do you punch? How hard do you kick? Whether you punch or kick at all. So that's all different details in tactics.
Well, the big example there is here in the tournament where, if I remember correctly, they're fighting one of the Pride Troopers, the fast one, and Goku uses the technique. Well, not technique. He gets the idea to just switch between God and Blue. It's like God for getting in close and Blue for actually connecting hits. That's one of the ways. Like, he just can't. I don't know about the manga. I don't remember all that well, but at least in the anime, he came up with that on the fly. As soon as he realized, yeah, Blue takes up a lot more, so I should save it. And I think that was also, I don't know if that was right after that was right before he used Ultra Instinct for the first time, so even before that.
Okay, so that's a measurement of how much energy I need to expend, which is effective in fighting, versus just wailing my arms. Because you see a lot of fights in Dragon Ball Z, and all the others, where they're just a barrage of punches and kicks, and they're flying through the air, and every character does that. So,
because at that point in fighting, and especially at those speeds, fighting is something you do intuitively. There's no big brain thoughts going on, because big brain thoughts are too slow.
Well, that is the whole point of Ultra Instinct, where it's just instinct, as the name implies.
Exactly.
That's not
a genius thing. That's just, you're really good at this. That's not, because genius, we're talking about big brain cognition. That's not what Goku's doing. Fighting is most of fighting is reacting to what the enemy is doing, so that he doesn't hit and that you can connect instead. That's the whole. That's basically the core of it.
Yeah,
and why Zen is so important in martial arts, because that the point of masters is, you notice this classical scene from movies where you have these two masters standing opposed to each other, and they're starting to fight, and then for like 30 minutes no one's moving a muscle, and everybody looks on because it's so intense, and they're just standing there. Because there's some truth behind that. Because the one who moves first is the one who determines the fight, and the other then can just react to that. The point of Zen in that context is that you empty your mind like a blank sheet of paper, because if there was anything on that paper, your opponent could react to that. If there is nothing, then your opponent has nothing to react to, which means you have the upper hand still. And that is something that you cannot use your big brain to think and strategize during that, because that is in itself distraction. You're not in the fight anymore. You are on some thought cloud instead.
Yeah, Honored Furby put it best. If you're thinking during a fight, you're several steps behind.
It's basically like for all you gamers out there, I keep mentioning or have mentioned when I played Bayonetta, especially on Infinite Ultimate. That is, and games like it and people in the fighting scene, they play on the frames they see on the screen, by the frame. That's not something that you can do with your big brain, because your big brain is way too slow. It just goes screen, eyes, motor cortex, spine, fingers. There's no thoughts there. You have to train a lot until you get there, because your big brain has to analyze all of that. But once all these patterns are processed and memorized, all you do is react, and respond accordingly. And that's what Goku does very quickly.
Well, yeah, Ultra Instinct.
Yes.
That's
Yes, but that is not something you do with cognition, with cognitive smarts.
Yeah, exactly. And that was with Ultra Instinct. That was built up pretty much from the start.
Yeah, that's why it's named aptly. I wanted to mention that right away, but the topic was good.
Yeah, and also to quickly respond to Tevin Daniels' comment, Goku should have killed Frieza. Yes, he tried to. He had the full intent of killing Frieza on Namek. What none of us knew is that Frieza survived that and the planet exploding. But Goku did have the intent to kill. He did technically win that fight.
Okay.
Someone like this is to judge their tactical performance, especially.
I'm sorry, what?
No, we're good.
Okay.
Especially in a series like this. His goofy moments done for jokes make him look kind of bad, but they don't really affect anything in the grander scheme of the story. But when you look at his battle smarts and how he actually performs in fights, this has a huge effect not only on his character, but everyone around him and the story as a whole. And there's things like...
Dude, both things are his character, you dunce. Those are both parts of his character. The stuff that you do outside the fighting ring is still you. Fucking hell.
Can only be accomplished by him being that smart in battle. In my eyes, Goku's arguably one of the smartest mortals in the series. Of course, he's not like Bulma or Gohan where he has intellectual smarts. Like, he's not gonna build a time machine or anything.
Oh, he's not smart.
Book smarts aren't the only way to judge someone's intelligence. And I have a couple examples that I want to discuss to talk about how truly smart Goku.
Intelligence smarts. That's an interesting way of putting it.
What did he call his smarts now?
I don't know.
Like that he's not intellectually smart like Bulma and Gohan, which is technically true. But again, he's not specifically said that he's smart in the martial arts. He's just saying he's smart without anything else. No.
So he's moving. He is moving without probably understanding it. He's moving into the fighting savant direction, which is a very fantastical thing.
Yeah, I mean it's something. He said how he's not, and he said he did at least say the way that Goku is not smart, but you haven't yet said the way he is smart, which is the martial arts.
He wants to talk about intelligence. I doubt he has read the Neuroscience of Intelligence by Haya. I always forget his first name. It's a nice small book. Nice summary. Also clears up the misconceptions about the bell curve. Yeah, if you want to talk about intelligence, you should read that and not start making up your own weird terminology.
To preface this section, I'm still only going to be talking about Dragon Ball Super here. We could look at fights from the original series, both in his childhood, arcs from Z, and even arcs from GT. But since this video is more focused on Super, and that's where most of the criticisms come from, we're only going to be...
Oh, so you just ignore everything that doesn't fit your argument.
That's the problem here. A lot of that
we call that, and you dismiss the things in Super that are counter to your argument, like all the scenes outside of fighting. You know what we call that? Disingenuous.
Yeah, and especially since big mistake ignoring Dragon Ball and Z, because a lot of what Super does to show that Goku is the martial artist that we know him to be, a lot of it is borrowed from the other two series. That kind of dismantles your argument to ignore that. Because a lot of it is stuff that we've known for years.
Bloody fanboy.
You're looking
Defender.
at that. Not to say that there aren't plenty of moments back then. No, there's plenty of moments in those series as well. But it wouldn't be worthwhile to cover them for something like this video, and in all honesty,
Yes, it
there's
would
plenty
be.
of examples in Super alone. I will be taking from each of the multiple interpretations of Super though, because I know there's a bunch and they're all pretty valid. So we will be looking at the anime, the manga, and the movies as well, even though the first two movies kind of count as Z movies, but whatever.
The first two movies don't count at all, for the record. But anyway.
And speaking of movies, let's talk about Resurrection F. Like I mentioned before, there was that point where Goku did let his guard down. Which, first of all, they do make it a point to address this later on. Whis directly talks about this and tries to get Goku to not lower his guard in battle, but he's actually portrayed pretty well in this movie in terms of his battle smarts. One of the big disadvantages that Frieza has is the fact that he has a stamina drain with his golden form. He couldn't keep it up forever.
This distortion animation for copyright shit because it's driving me crazy.
Well, he defined another term called battle smarts. Does anyone know what that means?
It's nonsense.
Just say strategy and tactics. We know that's what you mean, but you don't want to say it.
Yeah, but strategy is big thing. Tactics is small.
But he's using
Goku
the
can
word
do
as...
I'd say Goku can do tactics well.
He's using it as a noun and then just describing or using a descriptor like an adjective to say, well, he's technically smart, but now it's battle smart. I'm like, yes, that's what I was assuming you were going to do. What does that mean? How do you describe that?
It's like street smarts, but for fighting.
So it's not street fighting, but it's still fighting. It's like, oh, okay.
Well, I mean, Goku can also do strategy decently well, at least in Dragon Ball Z, because the strategy with Frieza originally was to do nothing but body blows until it weakened him enough. That is strategy.
I'm not sure that
It is.
that is. No, that's just Goku punching things.
He's
The
really
strategy
smart.
is something you plan out.
He has punching
He
smarts.
did. He fought Frieza, but he already fought Frieza before becoming a Super Saiyan. He does the body blows when he's already a Super Saiyan. He put thought into it.
Uh-huh.
Isn't that just
Put more thought into how to punch harder.
Yeah, isn't that just cause and effect? Oh, look, my punches don't do the thing I wanted it to do. I'll try the other punch.
No, it's because Frieza had a lot of the time had his guard down on that part of his body. That's how he took advantage. Remember, they had a fight beforehand right after Goku came back into the fight.
It sounds like he's just
That's how he
punching
knew.
from a different direction. Okay.
I know that's what it looks like, but there's more to it.
I
Seriously.
say that is tactics, not strategy.
Okay, all right. Let's keep going.
And Goku knew that, and he tried to exploit that weakness. Let's take a look at the movie, for example. Obviously, Goku fights amazingly here anyways, just as well as he ever does. His martial arts abilities and his battle instincts are just as great as ever, but he seems to keep his distance from Frieza, which draws out the fight a bit. Frieza overestimated how long he could last in battle and how strong he is in comparison to Goku, while Goku made a perfect estimation of how he'd perform. He not only predicted that outcome, but he fought to make that outcome become a reality. His judgment of Frieza was perfectly accurate, and as we move more through Super, there's more examples that are actually way greater than this one too. A perfect one comes from Goku versus Batamo. He was actually pretty smart in this fight. I mean, this fight alone should show you that he's a genius. But in all seriousness, I'm obviously talking about Goku versus Hit. Although,
Are you explaining? Give examples.
But this one's the better one.
So he's a smart fighter and he's a genius. And you're like, what? How?
Oh no!
How is he a genius? Does anyone know? I don't know. He could be. Maybe he is. It doesn't seem to me. He's just fighting as he always fights. Just tell us what makes him a genius.
This is starting to become absolute word salad and thought salad.
Any acronyms for smart? Like genius, intelligence, savant, educated, knowledgeable,
I think we made his argument for him in the beginning.
Erudite, wisdom. Like, just pick anyone. Just keep going. Use words. Use words. They make sense.
Goku vs. Hit actually goes pretty well in both versions of the story, both in the manga and anime. In each one, he has different ways of countering Hit's time skip.
You know why in role-playing games, monk characters have high wisdom stats and use those to deal damage, and not have high intelligence stats or don't need them? Because they use wisdom and intuition to fight, like Goku does. Because when you monk, like not the priest monks, but the martial artist monks.
Yeah, they're
which is what Goku does. He's fighting that martial arts stuff, you need wisdom for that. Wisdom is not the same as intelligence.
There's a subclass in Pathfinder that uses charisma as armor.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, scaled fist. Anyway.
Anime obviously has him take a huge risk with Kaioken, becoming so strong and fast to the point that he can outpace Hit, even with his time skipping. The manga's is even more impressive though, because he employs a brand new strategy
speed is intelligence?
not just using brute strength, the Super Saiyan God to Blue switch. This is of course seen later on in the series. Vegeta employs it, and even Goku shows it later on, in the anime too. But this is a pretty good example because he's using it to counter time skipping. Literally a guy controlling time. He's able to counter that, and that should just show you how smart Goku is in terms of battle. But
what?
Yeah. Also, all of this at the cost of
Take
the Kaioken.
Take a breath, please.
All of this at the cost of the Kaioken leaving Goku's body like an overcooked noodle.
So that makes him smart? Isn't he just pushing his body to a certain limit to counter someone else's technique?
Yes.
Okay.
You can call this an actual strategy if you want.
I guess.
Or it's because he's had the Kaioken technique for decades at this point.
Oh yeah, that's another thing they forgot in Dragon Ball, the Kaioken.
I mean, this is hey, to be fair, this fight right here is the one that brought it back anyway.
Oh, okay.
Again, and again, it left his body like an overcooked noodle after the fact. That's what, and that whole ordeal messed up his instant transmission too, like I said earlier.
Outside of the person he's fighting, the technique itself is pretty genius. It avoids the stamina issues of Super Saiyan Blue and still lets him use the power of it. He can attack at full power in Super Saiyan God, and then at the last second, switch into Super Saiyan Blue.
That's not genius, that's just how it works.
It's the equivalent to combining your kicks and punches in a different way.
It's like, if I
do it, just with fantasy shit on top.
Yeah, I'm doing my fighting whatever technique. If I do it too much, I'll hurt myself, so I have to switch it up in a certain scenario, and I'll use a different tactic to surprise the opponent for whatever. Like that's just strategy. Fine.
I'm gonna use different walking techniques in order to get close to the opponent and then surprise him with a jump kick instead. Haha. That's basically what that is.
You could say if he had insight into the opponent, how they were going to attack, and he was so good, his insight was so great, he almost has this sixth sense about fighting to the point where, he is a prodigy. He is, the next coming of the new style of fighting that no one was expecting. Like that you could say has some degree of knowledge that
he kind of does. He does kind of pick up on how Dispo fights just in that short moment that he takes him on.
Right. And that would be, as you said, instinct or some natural ability that you can't really train too much. Like there's stuff in fighting that like boxing, for example, there's a certain degree of rage you have to fight aggressively and fight properly.
He kind of did here what he did with Cell, but instead of what he did with Cell, which was to discern how the opponent fought so that someone else could step in, he discerned it for himself and was able to react more quickly. It can be argued that that's what happened with Dispo.
Yeah, that still feels like an instinct or a reaction, not an intellectual understanding of energy and heat and temperature and all these other wonderful things. It's purely like, oh, if I do this, this happens. So I won't do that. I'll do it over here, and I'll try this. Like, it seems to be constant trial and error, and all these transformations of all the his powers growing and failing and getting stronger. That's the typical hero's journey stuff where it just happens very quickly because of time skips or sensu bean recharging or whatever. Okay.
An amazing strategy that combines speed, power, and efficiency, while also allowing him to outsmart an enemy that could literally see what he's going to do in the future, which is just insane. And it's not like Hit's inexperienced with a time-skipping technique or whatever. He's incredibly old and experienced, which makes the feat just that more impressive for Goku.
That's wisdom.
We can move on to the next arc as well. And I did mention those two things before that made Goku look kind of dumb in this arc, but one of the reasons I like the manga version of this arc better is it makes Goku look way smarter than he does.
Oh, so you want the...
So you're cherry picking from each thing the stuff
not-
that makes him look like a Mary Sue.
That's not fair to the anime because the manga was behind and was able to have the foresight to improve on this shit.
Yeah, so my version of the manga is better than your version of the anime. Therefore, Goku's smart. You're like, what? Okay.
I just like the things where Goku has no flaws. Like, oh God.
This is that bringing the manga into this argument is not fair to the anime at all.
When people like this start writing, you get characters like Rey Skywalker.
Anyway.
At least Dragon Ball never got that bad.
If he wrote it, it would.
Yeah, him. But he's not writing it, is he?
All right.
Yeah, that Mafuba thing still does happen, but it's not really Goku's fault, it's more so just a mix-up, which can more so be blamed on Roshi if anything. But Goku's battle smarts really shine through here, not just in his analysis of how Vegeta fights, but also in his own fights, especially with Zamasu. And there's actually something really smart here that isn't Goku being battle smart, but rather actually smart. He completely deconstructed
He's not battle smart, guys. He's smart. Okay. Yeah.
So now he's actual smart.
Now he's contradicting himself.
He's not intelligent smart. He's smart. Like, what?
But you said earlier he was battle smart. Now he's smart now. Make up your mind.
What is happening?
Wait, this is not a total deconstruction. This is just Goku pointing out an obvious flaw of something absolutely insane, and that's the point. That even Goku can point that out.
Yeah, he's becoming. This guy's
That's
becoming
the
more and
joke.
more. This guy is coming out as more and more of an apologist with every second that passes.
Yeah, he just wants Goku to be a Mary Sue, who's good at everything. Because all the scenes where he looks dumb, that doesn't count. It's just 1,000, but they don't count.
Yeah, but the anime made him look stupid, so I'll use the manga.
Yeah, I don't think this guy wants Goku to drive a car any better than he already does, which is like shit.
His hand-eye coordination is amazing. He's a battle expert, but he can't drive a car. Like, what?
Can't drive a car for shit. He only barely got his license, and it was just he got that license so that the DMV could get rid of him and never see him again.
Anyway.
Zamasu's plan and tells him why it's stupid and why it's not going to work. And the strategy might seem overconfident, but it ends up working, to the point where Zamasu and Goku Black even start arguing each other. He knew Zamasu was immortal and he couldn't overcome him physically here, but he overcame him mentally. And again, this isn't something with him being battle smart or anything. This shows that Goku is actually intelligent in some aspect, and one of the reasons why I think people don't give him enough credit. Once again in this arc, Goku also evolved Super Saiyan Blue. By the way, I'm still talking about the manga version.
Well, if you want to talk about relative to the other person, yes, you could say in that scenario, the argument he could have won or his idea was better, whatever you would call intelligence within that regard. Sure, you could say he had better ideas. Fine. But does that make him smart? I don't know. I really don't know the context of the scenario. This is like saying, well, the child who is 2 can't understand subtraction, so I'm smarter than the child explaining to him my better idea for my answer for the math problem. I don't know. I mean, this is not very You're not giving me a criteria to work with here, sir. You're just saying, well, he's smart because he solved the math problem, which was 4 minus 3. It's like, yeah, he got it. You're right. He's smart in that regard. That doesn't paint a good picture, though.
Where he perfects Super Saiyan Blue, containing all the power within it. It's not a perfect strategy, but shows once again how great he is at technique, and how quickly he evolves with new powers. And just like
Technique is not intelligence.
Blue Cow here in the anime, he knows that this is risky, and he knows his limits here. He knows when it's running out too quickly. Goku has a great sense of how to act in battle, and how much energy he has to use,
Wisdom.
as well as the best way to use that energy. But despite Goku's insane strength, there are moments where he's shown to actually not use his strength in battle, just like the one with Zamasu. Obviously, I could talk about his martial arts performance in Dragon Ball as a whole, but outside of even martial arts, he does some really smart things, like against Broly. He could see that Broly wasn't a bad guy, and instead of relying on brute strength to defeat him, he actually tried restraining him for a bit.
So restraining someone's not martial arts?
That has nothing to do with smarts. It's just Goku doing his Steven Universe routine.
How is restraining someone not martial arts? What are you talking about, buddy? You don't think grabbing someone or using whatever force to stop someone is not martial arts? Exerting force on another person?
Is this guy of age? Because he talks like a 14-year-old.
I'm not sure what's going on.
And that's generous.
Anyway.
Even copying a technique from Hit. The fact that he used the Godbind alone is pretty impressive. I mean, the fact that he pulled us off is insane.
Oh my god, it's
That
insane.
has nothing to do with intelligence.
It's crazy.
Fucking fan.
Hold on. Let me say this quick: that comparing this Broly to Steven Universe is an insult to Broly. Seriously, Broly is an actual victim of circumstance compared to the shit in Steven Universe. And yes, that is an improvement.
I'm just talking about the whole shit of I'm not killing you. I'm just gonna incapacitate you so that we can hug.
Well, Broly deserves more mercy than all of the Steven Universe characters put together.
Yeah, that is, of course.
If you're gonna
Because
have
the universe is retarded.
if you're gonna have emotional outbursts like that's insane, that's crazy. It's like I don't think you have the right
Okay.
to describe things properly.
Okay, I'll use a nicer word. It's the paladin routine. We must give him another chance to redeem himself. Is that better?
I mean, Broly does deserve it, and they do.
I don't give a shit. That's the character.
Is that
I'm not-
the
not
stupid
saying
good?
that's-
What is the name of that?
Well, I'm not saying that's not what it is. I'm just saying Broly deserves it more than all of Steven Universe put together.
Yes, so what?
Yeah, it's a stupid good trope. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Oh, lawful dumb.
Lawful dumb. Yeah, there you go.
But he was smart. Instead of continuing to fight Broly, he tried to talk to him, get to his mind.
That doesn't mean he's smart. That just means he wants to.
Nothing to do with smarts.
That's just common sense.
Just like he did with Zamasu, but obviously in a much different way. And utilizing restraint rather than
You know how I'm. No, it's a more general thing that when people don't understand, don't have a thing, don't have experienced a thing, don't have developed a thing, like a trait or a skill, that they are not capable of properly identifying it when they see it and mistake other things for it. That's what we're seeing here. This guy's lacking smarts, and that's why he thinks all these other things are smart.
He's so dumb. Goku's a genius.
Yes.
It's kind of funny. It's like Goku has an arsenal of things to do against an opponent. He decides to subdue them for whatever reason. Therefore, he's intelligent. I'm like, okay, I guess a master of a martial art would say, well, I could kill you, but instead I'll just break your legs. I was like, oh, okay, that's better. That's smart. So you're not killing
There's
someone.
nothing to do with that. Nothing! Nothing!
brute force actually was a better technique. Of course, it didn't end up working in the end, but this had a better chance of
Wait. It didn't work? So
that speaks against the smarts.
So he's so
Even
intelligent to use this subduing method that didn't work. Wow, he's so smart, guys. Gonna bring him over to fix my my broken appliances. Like he'll use different techniques that don't work.
This is almost getting me to get a drink.
Oh, really?
But that wouldn't be smart, would it? Ah, God.
I want to get drunk, but instead I'll have water. That's the smarter thing to do. It's like, no. Ugh.
Working than him just continuing to beat up Broly. So even though it didn't work, it's important to note his thought process here. It was smart. Also,
What? How is it smart? You just said he failed.
He's just repeating the word. He's just repeating the word ad nauseam to the point that he hopes that it sticks with people and they just believe it. You know, like the snake in the Jungle Book.
He kept saying it was smart, it was smart, it was smart. Shut the fuck up and explain your shit.
If they want to talk about the Moro arc,
in the chat,
Goku and Vegeta were both smart in how they fought Moro.
Stop! Kyogre in the chat says, Dragon Ball has done the villain redemption from the very beginning. I know. I'm just so sick of this Steven Universe thing because it basically destroyed that concept. By just using it in the most stupid way, in non sequitur style, with like, it's... I don't even have words for it. Because there's a point to this entire trope. It's about civilized justice, if you will. That people get a chance for redemption. That doesn't mean that they always live up to it, but they get the chance. And Steven's universe, it's so corrupted that it's hug it out, and we were all friends, and it always works. Like, fuck off. It's what I mean. It's the Steven universe is the corrupted version of that.
Well, next time,
and it's just so it's like it's burned itself in to culture like acid.
And then Dragon Ball showed Steven Universe up by doing it with Broly.
Well, all you got to do is show scenes of a thing you like or manga pages, and say this was so unexpected. It was smart. You just go, wow, everyone's so intelligent. I wasn't expecting that.
I mean, at least
it will take a couple years until the damage of Steven Universe has died down on that, and I can see these little stories again without being reminded of that grotesque show.
Don't fight your enemies, hug them. It's smart.
I'm just like, the thing with Broly, it was kind of unexpected because the original version of the character just straight up died without a second thought to it. So it was kind of unexpected that they kept him alive this time. But anyway.
It was a guy that could steal energy. They both found ways around it, and it does show that Goku's battle smart, but I want to talk about how people call him stupid here for giving Moro a senzu bean. I've talked about it before with the Cell Saga and how he gave...
Okay, dude, when people talk about Goku being stupid, they talk about all the stuff that you are dismissing as not relevant, which is all the out-of-fight stuff. He is stupid.
Yeah, this is...
This was stupid, though. Why did he do this again after learning what happened when he did it with Cell?
Yeah, this is no different than... I can't remember the name of that guy who was defending Ray for not being a Mary Sue, and he said about 4 times during his hour-long video, I can forgive this, even though
Which guy? There's a legion of people that defend that.
He had some name based off a basketball jersey, the Goldman, I think. That was his name?
Yeah, they all sound alike.
Yeah, they're all very similar. But I remember because I watched that with LitDev, and we did this whole thing. I think a few other guys as well. And he 4 times throughout that video, I can forgive this. It's like, so you're admitting it's an error. You just don't want to address it.
Yeah, that doesn't matter that you can forgive this. You are here to make the argument on why that is
right. So what he's doing right here,
or not, and just saying I subjectively can forgive this. That means you dismiss the argument, you dismiss the fact, the point, the evidence.
Here's a piece of evidence. He's dismissing it. Exactly. It's like no, that's not how you do it. The same problem we had with the Mass Effect guy who says Mass Effect is actually good. He didn't address any of the bad points. He just says, I like this. This is fun. You could do sick tricks in your freaking car. It's like, dude, that's not an argument. That's just you saying, I like a thing.
Mm-hmm.
sell a Senzu Bean.
Wait.
But for here,
Didn't that fool know that Mass Effect was never good?
It was about the Andromeda video.
It was the Andromeda one.
Okay. Oh yeah, the one you guys did. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, this right here was stupid because there was no like backup plan for this. All Goku had was Ultra Instinct. Why? This
Let's
was
just go,
stupid,
go.
hands down.
I want a cool fight. I want a cool challenge.
Yeah, this was this.
What an
tried...
idiot does.
But this is a stupid move. There's nothing else past Ultra Instinct in this fight. That's all he has.
and it's not really that big of a deal, because immediately after he gave Moro the Senzu Bean, he completely made a fool out of him. He knew that if it went wrong, he would be able to defeat Moro once again, so it didn't have any great lasting effects on the story.
What if his body gave out like it did in the tournament, you numbnut? What would have happened then?
Can someone explain to me why he took the effort of animating the eyes, but left the mouth and nose shadow transparent so that the background flickers through it?
Well, obviously he wants to look like a creepazoid and freak us all out as we stare at this foreground image of Cell.
At least the whole thing with the Moro fight, again, the thing is that if shit went wrong, Goku had nothing to fall back on. Remember back in the tournament when he first unlocked Master Ultra Instinct, the moment he was about to win the tournament, his body gave out. What if that had happened here after giving Moro the Senzu Bean? There'd be nothing left. I mean, he'd take one himself, but we don't know if, like, the pain from Ultra Instinct bypasses the Senzu Bean. The problem here was the risk of what could have gone wrong. That's why it was stupid when he did it with Moro.
All right.
Senzu Bean or not, Goku still would have wanted to talk to Moro, and he probably would have found a way to get Maris' power still. Just wanted to bring that up because I know a lot of people bring that up when calling Goku stupid. Another
It was
thing
still
too,
stupid!
The Tournament of Power. People say that's Goku's fault, and that he caused it, putting the multiverse at risk, but no, he saved the multiverse. And it wasn't even really his idea. After seeing the Universe X tournament, Zeno wanted to do a tournament regardless. Of course, Goku did accelerate it by going to him and mentioning it, but the tournament was actually a great thing. Zeno wanted to erase the multiverse regardless. This gave the multiverse a chance at survival, and it wasn't just one universe like Zeno said. With how the tournament ending, all of them survived because he saw how mortals perform not only in battle, but in terms of selflessness within 17's wish. And that's why I think it's unfair to call Goku stupid for that, because not only did he not cause the tournament, but the tournament wasn't necessarily a bad thing. It had a net positive and not a net negative. It seemed bad in the moment, and I see why people would have said...
Yeah, but you just said it wasn't his idea, so how does that make him smart?
It was a good thing that it happened, but he did cause it.
But it's not his idea. It wasn't his plan. It wasn't his intellect saying, hey, I think we should do this thing, guys. Let me use my brain power to convince you with argument. He just partook in the tournament. That's not smart. That's just, I'm a player in the game.
Yeah, that's not smart. That's he saved everyone.
Yeah, he's just good at fighting.
He's just calling random things smart at this point. It's probably going to say, this is smart when looking at a salad.
If it was his idea and he, stupidly went about bringing about this savior solution, then that would be like a drunken master sort of goofy, lucky bastard sort of scenario where he just sort of falls into to luck or falls into...
But he made a good decision to intervene to save the multiverse. That doesn't mean he's smart.
Right.
He just made a good decision.
Jeez, this guy is scaring me.
This back then, but with how the tournament ended and with everything we knew beforehand, it's not really fair to call Goku bad for this. It's not even his fault, and it's a good thing. Oh, and speaking of the tournament power, I can go into a whole spiel about how great Goku is just for unlocking Ultra Instinct, which not even the Gods of Destruction could attain. But that would probably require a whole video, but just know I've had that on my mind. That's a perfect example of how great of a prodigy Goku is, and how great he is in battle.
That's not smart. He had potential.
Okay, I'll cut this short. This guy is simping for Goku.
I don't know.
It's all.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
That's what I mean. He sees Goku as a Mary Sue in a positive manner. Just like he sees an abusive girl that's only exploiting him as a goddess.
He's calling literally everything Goku does as smart when it's just instincts, good decisions, dumb luck. It's not all smarts. Maybe just the fighting at best, but not literally everything he does in his goddamn life.
Fighting smarts is the best. Was it the only word you used to describe
Battle
smarts?
smarts.
Battle smarts. Okay.
Which, if you think about it, he's right on that. He just never specified anything about it.
Because he can't, because he's not smart himself, he's just a child.
It's like, he didn't even realize what he said with battle smarts. I know what he meant. He doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
How did that happen?
Okay. 2 minutes.
Quickly he adapts. He may have not unlocked Ultra Instinct intentionally, but he grew with it and adapted with it so quickly. That's definitely worth noting, and it showcases even further how great he is in battle like this. There's plenty of examples within Super and even the other series that show how smart Goku is in fights. Whether it be how he utilizes power, how he analyzes his enemies and his allies, how quickly he adapts, the strategies he uses, etc, etc.
Examples.
So yeah, Goku might be a bit absent-minded at some other points, but when it comes to battle, it's the exact opposite. Also, I think this is a good opportunity to mention, everyone talks about how Goku could be really smart with his fighting by using instant transmission and just killing an enemy before they transform. It's to the point where it even became a meme that transcends beyond Dragon Ball itself. And yeah, that's not wrong, but it's not really fair to call Goku stupid for that, because if he did that in every fight, there would be no story.
No, that would be smart.
Also not smarts. This is ingenuity.
If you had the capacity to teleport behind an enemy and break their neck, and they're like a world-crushing villain, you do it. I don't care what your reasoning is. I don't care what your morals or ethics are.
Even worse, solar system crushing villain.
Yeah, I know the gods are ridiculous. I know. Yeah.
Even the gods. Cell was solar system level by the time he became perfect.
Oh, really? Oh, jeez.
That's how high the scale went at this point.
Okay. Well,
Cell Saga went all the way up to solar system.
To me, that means his instinct or his nature, which is to fight, is greater than his concept for intelligence and logic. So he's not very bright.
He excels at tactics and adaptability, but he's by no means a genius.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing, he's just not intellectual.
Like, it's not necessarily, I see this criticism for a lot of pieces of fiction, but if you make characters do that for everything all the time, you're not going to have a story at all.
Okay, wait. All he's doing is pointing out plot holes. It's like, if you have plot holes, you won't have a story. It's like, wait, no. You can get rid of plot holes and still have a story, sir. It's very possible.
So that's bad writing. You would be really bad at writing, as I said before.
What was he talking about when he said that?
Because if other stories have like the eagles from Gondor or whatever, and they can just fly wherever they want, it wouldn't be a story. It's like, well...
I mean, what? He's talking about instant transmission?
Anything that can break the entire plot, where you have a device or a Deus Ex, or anything that you could just do, which you're known to have.
Forget the MacGuffins, otherwise we can't have a story. Fuck off.
Yeah, but the thing is, they don't even forget about instant transmission. They just write the fights to work around that fact that he has it. Literally, in the fight with Dispo in the tournament, Dispo is just too fast to let Goku use it in the first place. That's why he comes up with the idea of switching between God and Blue to match up.
Yeah, and look, this is another parallel to Stargate SG-1, where they get several MacGuffins over the course of the series, and later on manage to solve some problems by combining those MacGuffins with one another.
Yes.
And yet there will still be problems where none of those MacGuffins help.
Yeah, they work around.
And this is the same thing.
Yeah, the workarounds in the writing, yes.
Yeah, this is the same thing. You don't just forget about it. If you forget about the MacGuffin, especially deliberately, then you're a bad writer.
Yeah, sometimes Goku does use it in battle every so often. Sometimes they work around it by having the opponent counter it, like with Dispo. Again, Dispo being too fast for Goku to react fast enough to use the move in the first place.
All right, 1 minute left.
It's not a plot hole that he doesn't use it all the damn time.
A good recent example is a lot of people said this for Spider-Man No Way Home, where people were saying Peter should just make Doctor Strange erase all memories of Mysterio and what he said. And like, yeah, that worked, but do you not want a movie with 3 Spider-Man?
Okay, this is.
No, I don't care whether there's a movie with 3 Spider-Men. I want the characters to actually be written sensibly, consistently. You fucking idiot. You just want entertaining lights on the screen.
All right, I advanced it so he has some
Fucking hell.
ending that we can get past.
Like for guys like this, you can cut out all the plot and you can just show him all the action scenes. This is the kind of guy who likes Michael Bay movies.
Get him out! Get him out!
Discussing. Do you agree with what I said?
No. Okay, we're done.
No, you're dumb.
We're done.
You couldn't tell smarts from if your life depended on it.
All right, let's see if we got any cool memes to go through.
Please, at least some.
I know I made a meme today, but that has nothing to do with this podcast.
Yeah. And we start with, the fuck is all this?
Oh my god.
Heaven and hell? Oh, that's yours.
Sacrificed his life 2 times for saving his son's life, was the only one who believed in his son's power when none did, broke the rules of afterlife to save his son's life 2 times, still called the bad father.
I mean, it's not wrong. He's not a bad dad. It's just that because of circumstance, he's not there all that much. And when he is there, it matters.
Proceeds to punch the highly regenerative villains rather than vaporizing.
Well, I mean, in both cases, it's just to stall for time.
Yeah.
And it's made abundantly clear based on what's actually happening.
A dinosaur man explains how to beat big boys. Use acid.
I don't get it.
Why is Kenshiro a dinosaur?
Yeah, what is
I don't
happening?
get it.
What is
Kenshiro, you let yourself go. What happened?
Was the martial
Legacy,
art?
that meme is too cryptic.
This is really. I have to brush up on my Fist of the North Star.
The trick is to understand that other people do not know what's going on in your head. You have to translate that.
Hey, it's me, Goku. People, Goku only cares about fighting and training.
Yeah, bullshit. I love this one. Just like, he's not a bad dad.
There he is.
It's called circumstance. Yeah, Yajirobe.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that guy. Oh, he moved in with the cat man.
Yep.
Yajirobe.
Yes, I remember now.
Yeah, Yajirobe eventually, by the time of Dragon Ball Z, he did move in with Korin.
Ah. See, I didn't see him as an adult. That's why I didn't understand what you meant with fat man.
Yeah, and I was watching. I was on my way home. It's like, I'm just like, really? You did getting Yajirobe's name wrong and everything. I was like, ugh.
All right. Along with healing wounds, senzu beans have one more great use that seems to get forgotten by pretty much everyone. The nourishing properties are also so potent that one senzu bean can keep a person full for 10 days.
Yeah, you're right.
Man, I would love that. I hate eating.
That is a pretty big advantage.
That just suppresses your stomach acids for 9 days at least.
It doesn't suppress stomach acids. The bean is strong enough that it can supply the body with all the nutrients that it needs.
That's crazy.
Kind of like something similar to what the nanomachines do in Metal Gear Solid. That they just keep you in top form. Something like that.
Okay.
And yeah, I know Metal Gear dumb.
Senzu bean time.
Yeah, oh yeah, when he gives it to Cell.
Okay.
Again, better than when he did it with Moro, because with Cell, he had a backup plan.
What the hell is this?
I don't know. I don't want to know.
I forget the name, but I know what this is.
Oh, God.
Virginia hanging out with little boys in spandex, I see. What the fuck?
This is, this is the 4th form, I think?
Super Saiyan 4.
Yeah. All right.
But one of the few highlights of GT. I will grant GT fans that.
There's Broly.
Getting half a monkey coat?
Well, basically, the form comes from the fact that when a Saiyan that's already achieved Super Saiyan somehow regrows their tail or takes in the enough blood wave radiation, they can become a golden great ape, and from there, if they master that, they get Super Saiyan 4.
Okay.
Here's Broly Rage.
What are you, insane?
What the fuck, Sonic face? Okay.
Yeah. Oh.
I'll get the fuck out of here with this. This is Silver the Hedgehog versus Trunks death battle.
Oh, really?
So, Silver won because they used the Silver from the Archie comics.
What?
Yep, and Archie comics power scaling is insane. It's even worse than Dragon Ball sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Sonic's stupid.
All right. Well, that was a pretty, I wouldn't say empty, but just fanboy-ish. Too much gushing over.
I think it had a decent start, and then it just went downhill way too quickly.
Well,
Yeah, within seconds.
I don't mind
Seconds, yes.
people making arguments, but I always say this: you have to define your terms. You have to be intelligent about what you're talking about. You have to know examples. He had examples, plenty of examples he liked. The problem is he cherry-picked examples he only wanted to talk about. He made the distinction and showed that, well, there were dumb examples. It's like, well...
He
Which
ignored
he dismissed all counter evidence.
He dismissed Dragon Ball and DBZ altogether, which arguably could have helped his case. But no, he just wanted to be a super shill.
I don't know. That was a weird take.
By the way, how many seconds did it take for this video to go downhill? Was it less than 8 seconds?
30 seconds?
Because that's... How many?
At least, well, we stopped about
I think
10,
12.
20, then 30. Yeah, we stopped around there a few times. Going,
Yeah,
"Ooh."
because the current record goes to the DMC homoeroticism video at 8 seconds.
What?
At 8 seconds.
Keep track of that.
That's when we paused it at 8 seconds because the bitch that's when the bitch said that she put everything through the gay lens. You don't remember that?
Vaguely.
It was at
I
8
remember.
seconds.
Now that you mention it, I remember the video, and it was quite atrocious.
That one holds the record for the earliest "what the fuck" in a video.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I'm substituting my personal reality. Ooh.
Yeah, that was dumb too.
Yeah. So
But at
whether-
least that bitch was able to establish some kind of standpoint compared to this
yeah,
moron.
whether it's a fetish or whether it's a favoritism or I don't know why he brought up Spider-Man. That was weird. But
I know. I'm just
His
like,
argument was, there's plot holes and dumb things in No Way Home, but don't you want a Spider-Man movie with 3 Spider-Man? Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Huh?
I'll give him credit that he at least didn't bring up Superman like everyone else does.
Yeah.
Because whenever people talk about either Goku or Superman, they always bring up the other one in some way. It's like, again, the guy that said Superman was the worst of all time, he brought up Goku like right at the end because of training, which no.
All right, so someone in chat is talking about a Muso TNT. That's a very common copyright striker. So just counter that, and you have to wait it out, and it'll be gone in about a month or so at most. But they could retract it manually. So those guys are notorious. And just make your case, write out your reasoning why you think you're allowed to use your content, because I'm assuming it's your own content. And that's all it is. It's just I have commentary, it's fair use, it's my own, either it's your own video from your own video game, you're allowed to put your own video game content or game capture on your videos. You're saying it's commentary. And just do that, because Muso TNT is, this is not this year, it happened to me years ago. That this happened. So, but it wasn't just me; it was many people. So, go for it.
Yeah, yes, Kyogre's hideout. Super shill should be a synonym for moron at this point. It kind of is.
See, he's a very passionate fanboy. If he just had a few more thoughts beyond, well, what does intelligence mean? What does it mean to be smart? And he could have started with that, and that's what I thought he was going to go to. He eventually got there because that's all he has to say anyway about Goku. Because Goku is. It's a story about fighting.
The problem, like I said earlier, the problem is that he was calling literally every single thing Goku did as smart, when all of those things were different actions.
Yeah, and he didn't define tactics. He didn't define strategy. He didn't define smartness. His smart, whatever that was.
Hey, it's these kinds of stupid shit ass take videos that on Dragon Ball that I will happily shield for a channel that actually knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah.
If you guys want actual good Dragon Ball takes, check out a channel by the name of Geekdom 101. That guy absolutely knows what he's talking about, and he's a longtime fan for real.
All right.
So check his shit out.
And what I think is the really scary, dangerous, and sad part is that imagine his obsession with this topic, the way he goes about Goku, dismissing all the counter evidence, all the negativity, all the negative points that are against his Goku is awesome in every way possible. Imagine he's growing up a little more and turns this way of thinking towards a girl. That's how you get Sims.
Yeah, being disingenuous, you cannot do that with Dragon Ball, because but everything in Dragon Ball is so specific that you have to come into the discussion knowing exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, but look, this is the immature mindset that is not ready for relationships, because he will blindly throw all of his resources at that girl that may be completely abusive, exploitative, unfaithful, and so on and so on, and he will only make excuses for her. That's what that will be.
Yeah, this guy definitely does seem like a beta.
I wouldn't say beta. I would just say this is the mind of a child.
All right.
He's not mature to understand the world yet. That's why he can't make an argument for or understand or accept that Goku has flaws.
All right, guys.
Maybe it's that. Maybe it's rather that's the core of the issue.
Let's not speculate, because that's a whole other topic. And this was a pretty bad video, but I'm glad we covered it. It's Anime-ish Mondays. Thanks for the video suggestion. I'm not sure we're doing tomorrow, but we'll find out soon. Keep the suggestions coming, as always. Also, check the description. There's a link to a poll I'd like you to fill out for your favorite, best, most memorable video game experience. And there's 155 games to choose from. I'm still getting suggestions on, not suggestions, I'm still getting people filling out the poll. And we're making a big list on the website. And hopefully we'll be done this week, maybe next week. I don't know how long we're going to keep this poll going. But it's taking time. But I do appreciate everyone's response. So please fill it out. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. We'll talk to you guys real soon. Have yourself a great evening. Bye-bye.
Night.
Hakai.